Welcome everyone to Coach Connect Hub. I'm Sam Rafis, and we have week 4 with Geoffrey Kent. So Geoffrey, we've had 3 weeks with you. Now we're into week 4. Take it away, and what are you sharing with us today?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 4 in the 6-part series of Entrepreneurial University on Alignable. Just to recap, in the last 3 weeks, we've discussed how to maximize your probability of achieving entrepreneurial success by pursuing ideas fueled by your passions, how to laser focus on uniquely solving problems for customers that your competitors either ignore or underserve, and how to enhance the probability of success by forming unconventional strategic alliances with much larger companies. This week, we're going to discuss how to invest in providing world-class customer service so you can transform customers into evangelists who buy everything you sell for the duration of the life of your business, while also referring your business to all of their peers. Now, back in week 1 of Entrepreneurial University, I briefly mentioned a story that I'd like to retell in more detail since it directly relates to this week's topic. I've mentioned in previous sessions that when I launched my last tech venture in 2007, I had to forego paying myself for the first full year of business. I was under tremendous pressure to generate revenue because I was married with small children, and I was experiencing all the financial pressures that come with providing a stable environment for a young family. My solution was to conduct the research needed to find every business networking organization in the greater Philadelphia area and identify every networking event hosted by all the identified organizations. I identified more than 300 events to attend, so I quickly filled out my calendar for the next 12 months with all the events I intended to attend. My goal was to attend an event to assess whether my targeted customers attended the event, to determine which events I'd continue attending, and to determine which organizations it made sense to join with the limited marketing budget I had as a startup. In my second week in business, one of the events I decided to attend was an all-day suppliers conference in Atlantic City, New Jersey. As I was walking through the exhibit hall, I noticed that the local Chamber of Commerce had a booth. Every other booth had a line of people waiting to talk to representatives in these booths, but not one single person was at the Chamber's booth, and the one rep in the booth looked bored. So I made a beeline to the Chamber booth and struck up a conversation with the rep, who seemed to genuinely enjoy the fact that someone had taken the time to talk to her. Her first question to me was to ask if I was a member of the Chamber. I told her my business was 2 weeks old and that we were headquartered in the suburbs of Philadelphia, so I wasn't really sure if there would be any value in joining that chamber. When she told me annual membership was $250, I figured this wouldn't kill our marketing budget, so I decided to join the chamber. Now, because this conference focused on matching suppliers with corporate buyers, I noticed during the day how few people would be at the chamber booth. So every time I walked by the chamber booth, I'd stop and torment the chamber rep, telling her bad jokes. Fast forward a few weeks. I'm in the city, and my customer meeting ends early. I'm in the vicinity of the chamber office, so I decided to drop in to say hello. The chamber rep I met in Atlantic City exuberantly greets me, and we start an animated conversation. Now, as I'm talking to the rep at the front desk, I keep hearing a continual loud alarm that's going off in the background. When I asked what the alarm was, the rep told me that their server had crashed. So I told her that it was more important to address that issue than talk to me, and that I could come back on another day. It's at this point that she told me they'd reported the problem to their tech vendor, who told them that it would take 3 to 4 days for them to get out to even assess the problem. Knowing that all their local computers and printers were tied to the server, I asked her how any work was getting done. She then told me that one person would work on a file, save it to a flash drive, then walk it over to the desk of whoever was supposed to work on the file next. And when that person was done working on the file, they'd send a staff member to the nearest Staples, which I knew was a mile away, to print the file. I felt really bad for the chamber, even though they weren't my customer, so I told the rep that I needed to step outside for a second to make a phone call. I immediately got on the phone and asked one of my techs to come downtown and meet me at the chamber office, to see if he could assess what was going on with the chamber server. So when he arrived, fortunately, he was able to patch the server. But after he finished, he pulled me aside and told me that the chamber server was a used desktop that had been rebuilt to act like a server. He also said that the newest part he could find in the desktop was at least 20 years old, and that the desktop was nearing the end of its natural life cycle. So eventually the desktop was going to die and wouldn't be able to be patched, so it needed to be replaced. I relayed this information to the chamber rep, and she asked if the chamber could place an order for a new server through my company. I told her that we didn't resell computer equipment, but that I could purchase a Dell server on her behalf since Dell supplied the servers we purchased for our data centers. The rep agreed to place the order through Dell, so I decided to lend the chamber one of our spare servers for free for the week that it took before their new server was delivered. When we came to install the new server and pick up our loaner, the chamber rep informed me that they had decided to contract with my company for ongoing technical support. Not only did the relationship with the chamber last for the entire 6-year duration of my company before I sold it, but every time I attended a chamber event, this same chamber rep would introduce me to someone new at each event and would then sell them on my services without me needing to say a word. I didn't realize just how pivotal the relationship with the chamber was in growing my business until I was going through a customer list after I completed the sale of the company. To my surprise, in the 6-year lifespan of my firm, the chamber, through their brand evangelism, had referred me to no fewer than 10 customers. And every single one of these customers purchased more from us than the chamber did. So what I'd like to do now is show you how you can transform your customers into evangelists who market your brand for you, like the chamber did for me. So for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you a simple process you can use in your business to transform customers into evangelists for your brand. And I'm going to need a volunteer. So if you're willing to be a volunteer, please raise your hand digitally. All right, William, can you please unmute yourself?
I just got to get him unmuted. I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Okay, unmute yourself, William.
Here I am.
And Geoffrey, unmute yourself.
All right, William, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right. So can you tell me a company, brand, business, or product that you have loyally purchased or purchased from for over a decade? This could be a restaurant, an automobile brand, computer company, anything.
Apple.
Apple. All right. Now, can you list all the things, and all the things is too many. So maybe like 3 or 4 things that Apple does for you that make you so loyal to them.
They sell me MacBook Pros. They sell me tablets. They sell me other hardware as well as software.
All right. So now I got to dig in here because there are a lot of companies that do that. That couldn't be the reason why you're so loyal to them. Say that again.
Microsoft's another.
Okay. Well, why are you so loyal to Apple? Why? Because you can buy those products from HP. You could buy them from Toshiba. You could, there's all kinds of companies that make those products. You've only mentioned the products. Lots of companies.
I'm only interested in value, not in price.
Okay, so again, as it relates to Apple, what is it that Apple specifically does that makes you so loyal, other than they have all these products? Because again, a lot of computer companies.
They support every one of the products that they sell.
Okay.
They have people who can tell me what I need, when I need it, and they update the products periodically to keep them up to date, secure, and competitive.
Okay. So what do you think would happen if you incorporated all of these attributes into what your company does for the customers you serve?
I do that. And then
Okay.
some.
All right. Sounds good. Well, obviously, by doing that, I'm assuming your customers are as loyal to your business as you are to Apple. Would I be correct in that assumption?
That would be correct, because in my mind, I want my customers to give me an A grade. An A
Okay.
grade means they're happy. A C grade means they're satisfied. I don't want to satisfy them. I want to keep them happy.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
That's
Well,
good.
you're you're way ahead of the game on this one. So I would normally ask you, but you've already done this. I would ask people why they haven't infused these attributes into their business already, but you've already done that. But
I've been
transforming
well
customers-
trained and blessed with great coaches throughout my life.
Okay. Okay. Well, so William, thank you very much. You've made this too easy for me. But transforming customers into evangelists is truly as simple as what I've just demonstrated with William. It's if you find a brand, a company, product, service, that you've been, religiously loyal to for an extended period of time, and then jot down what are the things that brand organization does for you that makes you so loyal. You literally, all you have to do in your business is replicate those things into your business, and you'll get the same level of evangelism and dedication to your brand as you are to whoever it is you're modeling after, right? So before we get to question and answers, I want to thank everyone for carving out this hour on Tuesday afternoon to participate in this fourth session of Entrepreneurial University on Alignable. Hopefully you can join me again next Tuesday afternoon, where I'll discuss how successful entrepreneurs measure and monitor the future-looking metrics that lead to sales, in addition to measuring the sales themselves. The link to register will be in the chat. So with the time we have left, I'd like to answer whatever questions you have about what we've covered. And with that, I am going to come out of share.
Thank you, Geoffrey. I'm going to get to everyone's questions after. And this is the part I want for the recording, so I'm going to stop recording. Geoffrey, again, thank you so much. I can't wait to hear and see what you bring us next week. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I know some of you are as big fans of Geoffrey and his wisdom as I am. So thank you again for being here. And please raise your digital hand for those of you that have questions.